Yo, hello ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Let me lower the volume on this video over here. Shout out Juan Manuel Marquez, Marco Antonio Barrero. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Whoever's watching this, I commend you health, wealth, knowledge for your entire family. We're into another weekly chart up. First, we're gonna go over GBPUSD. You could pause and read it, but before we were going to GBPUSD, we're gonna go over the first trade that I took for the month, which was USDCAD buys. You can see we're up 45 pips on the trade. Let's see the chart. Let's go over the trade real quick before we go into the weekly markup. The reason I didn't do a weekly markup on USDCAD, like I mentioned, is if I'm in the current trade and the buys remain the same, then I'm gonna stay with the same buys and I'm gonna hold the trade, right? If structure holds, we're gonna hold. So currently, we're in this trade right here. You can see why we took this trade. Price failed to keep on breaking lows below this zone right here, right? Previous area of strong demand, previous area of demand respected over here. Then we tested it for the third time, and then we respected it. You could also kind of see it's a shoulder, head, and shoulder, right? So an inverted head and shoulders pattern. And then we had a bullish engulfing candle here. And then this is where I entered after the price had already stopped out. Retail traders had put the stop loss here. I put my stop loss below here, the bottom of the range. And price, boom, gave us an instant profit. Gave us 47 pips. Tested previous area of supply. As you can see, price melted here. Previous area that it was, the previous time that it was here, melted all the way to 181,500. So therefore, I took my profit. And you can see right now we're still trading below this zone. So we could possibly get more buys above. The price can do something like this, bullish engulf, give us a higher low, and continue, right? So this could still continue. This could still give us more buys. But it could also do something like this, melt all the way to 181,500, take us out of the trade, and continue. And this is most likely what's going to happen. So therefore, another position. Actually, let me set an alert. Another position. There we go. So if price decides to come back and stop us out, we could possibly re-enter again. Why? Because the structure, as long as price doesn't break below 181,500, 081,500, we should be good for a continuation on the buys. So now officially into the weekly markup. You could pause it and read it. Let's go into GBPUSD. We're going from last to first. So this is the last one I charted it. And let's go from the monthly into the weekly into the daily into the 4-hour top-down analysis. So as you can see, price failed to break below 121 higher time frames wise. And then we had a strong bullish engulfing candles above 134, right? And then price recently had tested 138. And then we had a bearish engulfing candle after testing 138. We had the bearish engulfing candle close below 134, which obviously, if you can see, let's hop into the weekly. 134 is a strong area was a previous strong area of supply right here, and then a strong area of demand above, right? So this push gave us 1,000 pips to the downside, and the push above gave us 360 pips to the upside, right? So obviously now that we're above it, we're either gonna get this push back again, or if price does break below and now I want to sell below here, we could get this push right here. So now we have to wait for either or, but for now it would be definitely buys back above 134. That's very possible. Let's hop into the daily. So daily, you can already see we're bullish. Monthly bullish turning bearish, weekly bearish turning bullish. Monthly bearish turning bullish, weekly bearish turning bullish, daily bullish, H41 bullish. You can see on the daily we already have a strong H4, also not H4, We have one on the H4 as well, but on the daily we have a strong bullish engulfing candle above 134, right? So now the next target here could really be this previous area of supply here, and then maybe we have a trade off of it, either the meltdown back, the sells back down, or the buys above, something like this, buys above, or maybe sell and stop out buyers and continue, right? But for currently, it's definitely buys. And you can check on the 4 hour, the same thing. Strong H4 engulfing candle. We have some higher low above. Right now we're kind of respecting this previous area of supply here, as you can see. But then similar here, as we could create another H4 bullish engulfing candle, another higher low. We could definitely get into another little buy here. First target will be this low. Main target will be 138. Now let's go into GBPJPY. Actually, I don't know if I showed that was in the trade. Hold up, I'm in the trade on USDCAD on the top tier challenge account, and I'm not in the trade on the $40 challenge account because the stop loss. Let's go into USDCAD real quick. The stop loss was way too big. I would have raised the full account 40 pips. So now let's go into GJ. You can pause it and read it. We'll go from the monthly into the smaller time frames. On the monthly, you can already see monthly bullish engulfing candle above 195. I'll be back. You have to skip the video because I'm really not trying to edit right now, right? I'm literally at work, so I get to do this at work, right? So I literally have to serve people. It's like I'm an out-of-zone employee, but for a warehouse. So monthly bullish engulfing candle above 195, right? Where we previously had a strong area of supply, strong area of demand. We had a monthly bullish engulfing candle on the weekly. Recently, we had respected 199,500, which is a previous area of supply. You can see previous area of demand as well, and price had respected it, and we melted all the way back to 195. But on the 195, we tested it and it instantly shot back up, right? So now this is what I'm looking for. Price either testing 199,500 again and then melt and then sell again, or break above, create a higher low, and then we could buy all the way to 208 to 208, right? So these buys could actually be pretty good because it's, what is that, 700 pips. And then I wouldn't even sell till we break below 195, and then these sales could actually be good as well for 1,000 pips, right? So these are setups that we definitely have to wait for, but I'm definitely seeing more buys. So I would be, let's hop into the daily. On the daily, we're already bullish. Price tested 195, failed to break below. Daily bullish engulfing candle. We're definitely waiting for price to test 189,500 and see what happens. So we're gonna get the test and respect a previous supply. You can see strong sales, or we're gonna break above and continue to the upside. Same thing on the H4. Extremely bullish we could definitely come back down though, and maybe continue something like this, just to stop out buyers and then continue, right? But then we could also be getting in sales here, targeting those buyers, right? But overall, we're still bullish, and if we break above, that would only be a confirmation. Now let's go into, I believe it was USDCAD. We'll pause it and read it. Let's get into USDCAD. USDCAD is literally one of my favorite pairs, man, because it's like so easy to read. You can see on the monthly, bearish, price failed to break above 147, respect this previous area of supply. And then not only that, but we have a strong bearish engulfing candle below 139, which is also a previous area of supply, and then demand here. And then now we're looking like on the monthly, we're looking, price is respecting it as a lower high below it, below 139. On the weekly bearish engulfing candle below 139, and then prices shooting its way back to 139. So definitely, I would not be bullish on the weekly till we break above here and we create a higher low. So now we're still bearish. Weekly bearish, daily bearish turning bullish, because on the daily, let's hop on the daily. You can see on the daily, price tested this area, which is 135,500. 135,500, you can see, and then we instantly had a double bottom and a bullish engulfing candle, two bullish engulfing candles, right? And then we have a higher low here, and then we have a break of structure over here, right? Price broke above these highs right here, you can see, and then we have a bearish bullish engulfing candle above it, right? And then price shot up to right below 139, which was 138,800, right below 139, and failed to keep on breaking highs. Price bearish engulfed. This is already on the 4-hour. Oh, it actually bearish engulfed on the daily as well. I just noticed that. And then we're below this supply and demand zone as well. So on the 4-hour, you can see we're turning bearish, because obviously price failed to keep on breaking highs here, right? Previous area of supply, previous area of demand. It failed to show any strength here, right? It created a lower high and then melted below, and then we're below it now. So nowadays it's looking like it's gonna melt back below, right? I would not buy it back above till we're back above here. So right now it's currently sells. It's looking like it's gonna sell, but for safer sells, definitely will be something here below. And for safe buys, it would definitely be having here with the break of structure, with the bullish engulfing candle and the higher low. Same thing for the sells. Break of structure, bearish engulfing candle, and the lower high. So now we could go into, last but not least, USDJPY. USDJPY. Let's go. USDJPY is a crazy pair because sometimes it moves crazy. Like in a day, for example, you can see in a day there is this push right here. This is a daily candlestick. Look at it, in a day it pushed 350 pips, bruh. And these are days. So I mean, look at this. This is one day over here. In a day, 170 pips. In a day, this push right here did 190 pips. In a day, this push over here did 350 pips. In one day right here, price went up 150, and this was one consecutive 3 days. Look, next day went up 200 pips, and then the next day after that it sold 100 pips, and then the next day after that it bought 200 pips. Like, bruh, if you can get good at mastering this pair, and especially entries, you can make a ton of money. And not only money, right? You can catch a ton of pips, because money, obviously it's subjective. It's subjective to the person's account, right? A lot of money could be not a lot of money to other people, right? And so it just mainly focus on account size, percentage wise, and pips, right? So you want to catch more pips. And I mean, obviously there's gonna count to more money, but you're not focusing on the money, you're focusing on the pips. When you focus on the money, that's when you tend to lose. So okay, you can pause and read it. monthly bullish turning bearish, weekly bearish turning bullish, daily bullish, H4, H1, bullish turning bearish. On the monthly, you can see price failed to break above 160, bearish engulfing candle below it, and then price tested 140, and then 140 we price went all the way to 160 but didn't even touch it and failed to break highs again. Then we tested 140 again, and then this time we're looking at we're not even gonna go all the way to 160. So what this is telling us is that price is showing us support, but this support is getting weaker, right? Because every time you test it, obviously we're getting lower highs off of it. If price was bullish, if this support was strong, it would have broken highs since the second test, but it didn't, right? So now I'm definitely seeing for price to come back to 140. We come onto the weekly. On the weekly, we are bearish turning bullish, because obviously we're expecting 140, and then we have a bullish engulfing candle here, and we have some higher lows. But obviously we're still respecting this previous area of supply, which is 150, 151. You see on the daily. On the daily we tested 151, and then we have a daily bearish engulfing candle after testing 151, and then we have some higher lows. But I would not want to sell just yet. All right, I would rather sell when price breaks below this, and then we have some safer sells. That's because the same thing, price can literally shoot back up, and then we can have some buys above the supply and demand zone, creating new demand above it, and we could literally buy back up to 160. So right now it's a waiting game for USDJPY. On the 4 hour, you can see on the 4 hour we're kind of consolidating here, because price still doesn't know where it wants to go. But this could really happen, price shooting back up and then melting, or price literally just melting right now and then melting all the way to the downside, right? Or shooting back up and then continuing something like this, creating a higher low and then continuing to the upside. So right now we literally just have to wait. I'm waiting on UJ right now. Literally, I will not sell till we break below these lows, and I will not buy until we break below these highs. Definitely you could possibly get maybe some buys here, lower time frame buys, but also with knowing that this is your first target, right? As soon as this price gets here, you secure, you set your stop loss at break even, and you let the rest run. And that would actually be kind of look something like this. This might be something that as soon as the market opens, but also you have to know that there's a lot of stop losses right here. So you would have to for sure have to have a bullish engulfing candle, a higher low, and then you're targeting the zone. And then maybe you want your stop loss. Dang, that's a 70 pip stop loss for 260 pips. You see, that's the thing with trying to make a lot of pips. You're risking most of the time a lot of pips, or if you're catching a lot of pips on a position, it's because you set risk free and the position continued to run, right? You weren't risking. Say for example you were taking buys here, right? Say here, right? Price had already pushed up, had already expected this previous area of demand, basically created this double bottom, right? And your main target, say you after this double bottom was tested, your main target was these highs, right? Because price still has not taken them out. So when you get into the market, for example these guys, when price melted here, it stopped out these guys, right? So you get in over here, your stop loss is here, and then boom, you actually my main target would be right here, TP1, right? And what does price do? Price flies for 270 pips. You probably set your stop loss at break even, and then boom, look at this, price comes back, stops you out at break even, and continues all the way to your target, right? But if you wouldn't have set your stop loss at break even, it would have never hit stop loss, as you can see, and price would have hit your full target. But I mean, there's no way you're not gonna secure on 267 pips. But this is on the 4 hour. I'm telling you, UJ, you have to have good entries to be able to hold these positions. If not, you're just gonna be scalping. Peace and love to anybody watching this. I command you health, wealth, knowledge, wisdom for your entire family. Back to work.